Hey everyone, welcome to another session of the Era of the Dragons. We are back after quite a break. My name is Mal. I'm gonna be your humble GM for the night. My pronouns are she, her. I guess we should go around and introduce ourselves. Silver.
Hi, everybody. I am Silver underscore Bulette here on Twitch as well as YouTube. And I will be playing the Gem Dragonborn rogue known as Fensiris. She, her pronouns.
Tara.
Hello, I am L00100001L in the Twitch universe. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing a black chromatic dragonborn wizard named Merlin Hendricks.
Hey, Levi, you don't have to introduce your character because that will come up when it's appropriate, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Levi. I use he, they pronouns, and this is my first time being back to streaming in a while.
Awesome. Jaden.
Hey, I am Siliqui Jaden, fat sapphic bro on the internet. I use they, them pronouns. I play the tiefling barbarian named Grief. Grief uses he, they pronouns and also uses a combat wheelchair. I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user in real life, so I like to play one in game. The combat wheelchair is designed by Mark Thompson, who you can find on Twitter at the username Mustangs Art. I'm also the person handling social media and email accounts for Lantern Light Adventures, and I'll be doing some graphics work like our new overlays and our promo videos. I'm going to go ahead and do some quick announcements just because we have been gone for so long. So, first of all, we are super excited to be back, and we are so sorry for the very, very long hiatus. Just so y'all know a little bit about what's been going on in our lives, my grandmother, who Mal and I had been caring for the last 3 years, had a stroke. Then she was moved to hospice end of life care, and unfortunately, she passed away. The last week, while Grandma was in hospice, Mal's mom's health took a really sharp decline. And about a week and a half after my grandma died, Mal's mom passed away. So we were having a hell of a time and we are still moving through it, but we are doing all right and we are super happy to be back. We also had a work trip and other people had work obligations. So we had a few sessions we had to cancel for that, but we're back. Now we're ready to play. So, welcome back to our new space here at Lantern Light Adventures. As a reminder, all of our TTRPG content and other related content will be here on this Twitch from now on, as well as uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There's a link to our link tree in the chat right now, hopefully. That if you click, you can take you to all of our social media sites and you can follow us everywhere you want to follow us. If you want to be kept up to date on everything that we're doing, feel free to also join our Discord, which is also linked in the chat. And if you want to play with us or GM for us, you can fill out our TTRPG actual play interest form, which is also linked in the link tree and in the chat. Once you fill out that form, I'll email you back with our TTRPG consent form. Then we can match you with games from there. Please understand that we can't always necessarily accept everyone, as we want to make sure that our tables all share a good vibe where everyone feels like they can have a good time and they feel safe. And it also might take some time to get you worked into a game because there's only so many of us. But please be patient and feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns you have. Also, we will be taking the last weekend of the month off every month and having no stream that weekend so we can work on editing and producing more content for y'all. So while we are back this week, we will not be here next week. Then we should be back the first Sunday in November, November 5th, barring any life complications. So thank you all for being here with us and for your patience as we navigate life and all of its hardships. And I think that's it for me. Go ahead, Mel.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. We shall begin our game. Our heroes, in an effort to save citizens of a small town who had been kidnapped by the Restoration, a dragon worshipping cult, they teamed up with Billy Bob Bones to infiltrate a gala. This event was taking place at a casino partly run by Jax Fletcher, a known high-ranking member of the Restoration. After dressing in fancy clothes and entering as the entourage of Sir Bones, you created a large distraction and entered into the servants section of the casino, where you found the kidnapped people being held. You also found one Jax Fletcher, who, using a crown made of ichor, turned himself into a dragon. During the ensuing battle, your ally, Gift, was overtaken by a dark entity that had been circling her for a long time. Upon your escape into Billy's carriage, Gift collapsed unconscious. Grief, Vincirus, and Merlin, you are in a carriage with Billy. Gift has collapsed unconscious. What do you do?
Gift. Does anyone know any first aid or anything?
Got nothing on medicine checks. I'm trying to see if we have any healing things. I don't think we have healing things. Gift is our healer.
That is accurate, yes.
Well, Billy says, don't panic too much. We are not far from my house. I'll be able to get her some care. Just make sure her head is held up.
On it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you lift her up. Her body has gone completely limp. Any of you can make, I believe, I forget what skill wisdom, what medicine actually is. Let's see.
It's a wisdom based
Okay.
skill.
Yeah, any of you can make a medicine check. Or in this case, you can make Arcana or Religion.
Merlin's rolled medicine for 15.
15. It doesn't appear that Gift is dying. She's not. She seems actually completely stable, just like she's fallen asleep. She has regular breathing, and her eyes are moving rapidly.
11 on Arcana.
Well, you saw the dark entity being pulled from her. I mean, she transformed into it. With an 11, and given, I ask you, what do you know about demons and devils? What do you think Grief knows?
I feel like as a tiefling, at least a bit.
Okay. Then with an 11, you know that it wasn't fiendish in the way that you're familiar with fiends. It wasn't devilish, whatever that creature was. It was something that even the devilish side of you, even it was something that even that side of you feared almost innately, like you were a prey animal in the presence of a predator.
Okay. There's clearly been something after her or tied to her for a while. We've seen a lot of weird things, and we know that she couldn't speak plainly about nearly anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what prompted what happened back there, but it was really fucking weird.
Wait, was that weird shadow creature something to do with Gift? I think my back was turned.
Yeah, it's like it came out of her.
Ah, jeez. Yes, wow. I think she's gonna need an old priest and a young priest at this point.
Yeah, this is so outside of any of my knowledge.
Billy, do you know anybody? I mean, you know a lot of people. Do you know anybody in town who can take care of her?
Billy has been distractedly like looking outside the carriage windows. He says, "Now, of course I do." As he's still looking out the window, he says, "But we can discuss that once we're in a safer place." And you kind of, as you kind of like just glance out these windows, you see that there's just people like going in all directions, panicking. Y'all had quite a bit of a stir amongst the many people at this party. So there's just carts going way too fast beside you and people being a little reckless trying to get back to their homes.
Oops.
Huh. It's kind of shocking to me it took them so long to get out of here. Maybe they thought there was party still left over. I don't know.
If you will recall, you had Remy like shut the doors to the place
Oh
as you
yeah, that was me.
Rami, not Remy. Anyway, um I'll give him a new name every few sessions. That's just the deal. So
Mhm.
Anyway, so you you tend to gift and just make sure that she doesn't fall over as the cart hits bumps and makes your way. Like it doesn't take you long to get back to the Billy's townhome. And he helps you carry gift up to the top floor of his townhome and sets her on a couch and he says, "Now I wonder where the rest of them are. Did you see the other team on your way in or out?"
Uh, in yeah, I don't think we ever saw him getting back out. I assumed that we took longer than they did because, like, by the time we heard them, they should already been leaving, right?
That is correct. I'm not sure what happened once they made their distraction. They were attempting to enter the safe, and in order to make it look reasonable, try and rob it properly.
So yeah, I mean, I would assume they're talented individuals. They should have gotten out of there.
It's about this time that the door gets kicked open by a rough looking human wizard holding a stocky dwarf woman in her arms. Lynn, the wizard who was part of the other team, and Brett, the dwarven cleric, um, unconscious in her arms. And Lynn just kind of dumps Brett onto the floor. Bree, the tiefling monk, and Vitha, Gift's sister, enter behind them. They all look disheveled. They look like they got into a prolonged fight. Bree is holding her arm as if it's been broken. And
Oh.
Vitha has slashes and things in her robes and armor from being in the fight. Lynn just kind of dumps Brett onto the ground and says she's stable, but don't know if she's out of the woods yet.
Wow. But hold on a second. Billy, do you have a have um fish cooked up on a wooden plank? I know that's a weird question, but that would work great as a splint, and she needs that.
he thinks to himself, he says, now I don't have the fish. I do have a wooden plank.
That's what I want. Yeah, good.
He goes and he actually ends up finding a cutting board, which he just like he says, well, that's not quite perfect. And he just like breaks it on the counter and like so it's longer, it's like narrower pieces, and he hands them to you.
All right, yeah. Hold still, okay? I'm just gonna get you. All right. Let me know if this is too tight. I'm going to tie the splint, the makeshift splint, onto her arm.
She winces and like but breathes into her nose so deeply, like it almost impossibly large breath, and then breathes out and says, I can handle it.
Okay.
Evitha is seemingly out of breath, but manages to see Gift on the couch in here and goes to her and says, What happened? What happened?
Something came out of her. Like a dark presence. I don't know, it was all very quick and very strange.
She begins to cry and she says, What did you do? What did you do? Gift, wake up.
We didn't do anything.
I, I think she means that to Gift.
Fair.
Gift honestly saved us from something, but the effort of saving us was apparently costly.
You just let it happen? You let this what does she do? She
I was hiding behind a pillar, and I something dark took
so
over.
so you hid while this was taking her. And she goes to reach for her sword.
That I work best from the shadows. I was not fighting. I was behind a pillar so that I could get a tactical advantage. So I didn't see what happened. I just
Vitha,
know that when I did look, there was just darkness, and that darkness absolutely destroyed our enemies, which I was just thankful it didn't destroy us, because it was frightening. But yeah, I do remember once the shadow disappeared, there was Gift in its place.
you were supposed to protect her, and she pulls her sword, still clearly in the heat of battle in her mind. And what do you all do?
We we were fighting. We were fighting together. We were all doing everything we could. I don't know what she did. I don't know what she said. I don't know what happened.
She takes a step forward. You are tying Finsirius, you're tying the splint on Bree, but you feel like the weight of Bree's arm just evaporate from you, and there is just shadow in her place as the shadow appears behind Vitha, and just with one swift strike, Vitha collapses to the floor. And Bree looks over her and says, Vitha, it's going to be okay. We're gonna figure this out. and she gets on, she like puts her knees on Vitha's chest and just puts her full weight on her. And she says, "It's going to be okay."
What the fuck is happening?
What is our responsibility here?
I
Vitha cries and says, "I was supposed to protect her. I was supposed to take care of her. She was just supposed to do her job in the city. I got her an apartment, and then you all show up. Whisk her off, and now she's here? Like this?"
we're gonna get her the best medical care we can get. Uh there's we we think there's something deep with it. You know your sister. How long has she been not purposefully but lying constantly when she talks? Because I think that has something to do with what's coming out of her.
Gift just doesn't talk to people sometimes. She's just shy.
It's more than that. I mean, like, she could tell us the truth on her board, but she could never tell the truth when speaking. But she spoke to us a decent bit, and it was always lies. But not on the board. And that hasn't been her entire life, right?
She says, "No, but she was always quiet when she took that job in um Brambles Upon the River with that wizard guy."
Is that why she doesn't she has a deep distrust of wizards?
What was his name? Oakfoot or something?
Oh gosh. Yeah, we had to meet him. What was his name? Uh Oakfoot sounds close, honestly.
Um, Give me a quick history check.
No. I think I've got some bonuses, but still that's a 3 on the die. History. Oh, it's a +9. 12.
Okay.
Good old rogues.
With a 12, yeah, his name was Sir Oakenroot.
Sir Oak. Oh, Oakenroot. Oaken. Yeah.
Yep, the Magi Commander.
Was yeah, that guy kept looking at us very strangely. Like he was always adding things up in a creepy way.
Well,
Uh
Bree eventually just lets her weight off of Vitha, but you can tell is sitting by, like, has a poise in her body as much as she still has a broken arm. Um, Lets Vitha up. Vitha just sits on the floor next to her sister.
I get my point is not that we are absolved from blame. I wish that none of us had fallen in battle. But I think this was an inevitability. And it was just a question of when it was going to happen, not if. And now that it has happened, we have the chance to help her in a way that she had never asked for before. I don't think she could.
Okay. I never, I became an adventurer. I joined a crew. I put my life on the line. I just thought I could do it so that she wouldn't have to. And she just begins crying again. Brett on the floor kind of just coughs the worst cough, just phlegmy and everything, and just rolls over and just says, "God damn it, Lynn, why'd you let me die?" And Lynn says, "You didn't die."
Billy, seriously, you don't have a doctor on staff or anything, right?
He says, "Now this is a conundrum for sure. It doesn't seem hmm. You said a creature of shadow?
Yeah,
What,
that was
like
like
7, 8 feet tall on its back legs?"
it was tall. I mean, if you could call just a shadow tall, it was tall. Yes, it
Mhm.
was. I mean, honestly, it was hard to look at. So hard to describe too. Merlin, did you get a better look at this thing than I did?
Yeah, Merlin, let's get you an
I don't.
arcana. Do an arcana or religion, whatever's best for you.
Let's do Arcana. 25.
25. This was definitely a demon of some sort, a being of just pure chaos. They often desire something, but that's harder to discern, even with your 25. You're not sure what it wanted from gift, but they often want something. And that's why they follow people. Oh, Merlin disappeared.
Vita, what do you need right
Vita thinks and she says, "I need to make sure gift is safe."
Well, it occurs to me the one thing that I do know for sure is that Gift trusted the druids that we met above anything else. And they might be able to help her.
"Oh, the druids," Billy says. Um, that's right. Y'all met the druids. I know a woman up there. Got the strangest house. Between the druids and her, they could probably figure this out."
Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything else, I think Gift would appreciate the help of them. I think she always wanted to return there anyways. I just want to see Acorn again, honestly, but that's
Billy says, "I think it's right for this moment if Gift goes with her sister."
that's fair.
I'm
now?
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you there are plans within plans here. And I hate to assert myself on your free will. But Vitha, I need you to go meet Ethel. She lives north of Coralon's Rest. There will be plenty of signs in the woods pointing out how dangerous Ethel is. She loves it like that. Sweetest lady.
Be very nice to her, or she might turn you into a bear. Owlbear? What
Owlbear.
was Jax when we met him?
Owlbear.
Jax was an owlbear? Wait, was Billy there? I don't remember.
I think Billy was with us, I think.
I don't remember, honestly.
Let me see.
That was so long ago.
It really was a long time ago. Billy was 100% there. He says, now that is right. That's right. I forgot that was Jax.
Yeah. He we saved him from his polymorph to learn that he was not someone really worth saving. That's an interesting lesson to learn.
Just be nice to her. She'll know you're good. And Vitha says, with that, Vitha stands up, straightens her armor, tightens pieces of it, lifts the gift up into her arms and says, and before she can lift her up, Billy says, now calm down. You should wait till morning. No need to travel right now. It's a little bit hectic out there in the city. We'll let things die down, and you can travel quietly in the morning. Now, the same goes for all of you too. Rest.
For sure.
Are we allowed outside?
Of course. Just, I wouldn't suggest doing anything too much. Trying to keep a low profile here. And who knows if the Fletchers are looking for you. You said you met Jax down there?
Yeah, he was
yeah.
definitely there.
Yeah. Did we keep the crown?
No. Because Ramirez Latheran, the elven representative Vosna,
Yes.
came in.
Yes. Jax turned himself into a dragon using some sort of magic crown. And that's now in the hands of the elven diplomat guy that was at the feast.
Intrigue and mystery never ends. You don't know if Billy is shocked by this or just interested in it.
Billy, are you interested in this happening?
He says, I'm deeply invested in this. How much should I say to you? There are hands and eyes all over. I might be one of those eyes, but it's all in the service of the king and for this country.
Okay. Is health-wise, how is the other party looking?
They are pretty hurt. Brett is conscious with 1 HP. Their dwarven cleric.
Yeah.
Which she will begin to like just do healing magic on herself. Yeah, just
Okay. So they all can get to bedding for the night. I was gonna ask if we needed to pull anybody anywhere.
They all seem mostly okay. Bree is down one arm, but maybe a restoration might be able to fix that. Don't know if that you don't know if Brett has that kind of magic in her right now, but but Vita seems mostly okay. They just seem tired, beaten, burned.
D&D, the world where they get to sleep off a broken arm.
Yeah, no. Bree will not be sleeping this off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Poor thing.
yep. She's a monk down to one arm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is there a way for us to see if we can trust Billy Bob Bones in his offer of us resting?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. 15 or 18.
18.
Mhm.
Billy, I mean, from everything you've seen with Billy, he has actually, have you fought alongside him? I don't think you have, not really. He's just been kind of your benefactor. You showed up here. Um, as far as you can tell, he hasn't really lied to you or anything like that. He doesn't seem sinister. This is his home. From your insight check, you can tell he does live here. So, his many accolades, there are decorative swords he has won, um, hung all over. So, as far as you staying here and being safe here, you think probably?
How are we? We brought uh the people that were imprisoned with us,
Oh,
right?
that's right. I had forgotten about that.
How are
That's
they
on me.
looking right now?
Um, the tiefling man and his child would not have come in with you. As soon as you all stopped the cart, um, he said he would have thanked you and made his way somewhere in the city.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
but the mayor's wife, um, which forget her name. Just double check.
roll a history check. No, sorry. Did I
uh,
write it?
yep.
Okay, I think if it looks like everyone is basically getting ready for bed, then Grief will just quietly find a place to get set up to sleep as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, but the mayor's wife, she is seems to be okay. She's just hasn't been living in the most comfortable place, but she's physically fine.
Fenn's gonna make dinner. She's gonna invade the Billy's kitchen and make the best dinners that she can.
Okay.
And she'll bring some over to the mayor's wife. Here, I don't know what they were feeding you down there, but I suspect you want you've been needing something more substantial the last few days.
She says, "Thank you so much," and she begins to eat slowly. But she says, do you know when we can head back? When I can go back to my home?"
I don't think we can risk spending any more time in the city. Honestly, we need to get going, so we'll bring you back home. Um, tomorrow. We need to sleep tonight, but we'll get moving in the morning and get you back home. Your husband's been missing you.
Who you did talk to him. Is he doing okay? How's Nessa?
They were both a bit frightened. The people who took you also did a number to your town. We took care of them, but we need to also make sure that they're still okay.
Billy will come and he just grabs a glass to fill some water, and he says, I've been talking with some folks. I can get you transport down to Storks Run first thing in the morning. Should be fine. Our dear friend Rami here has offered to escort you.
It's appreciated, Rami. Especially since we left you out hanging for a while when we really shouldn't have. We apologize for that.
Rami, and to describe him again, he's a human man and he is dressed in very fine driver's clothes tonight. But he says, oh, you don't need to concern yourself with that. I will find my way wherever I need to. If I need to look for you, I'll find you.
Fantastic.
He says, but ma'am, I will be happy to escort you back home. And he bows deeply, and she kind of like bows her head a little bit.
All right. We should all probably get some rest after today. Can we, Grief, Merlin, can we all take like a watch though on make sure Gift is still breathing over the night?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I'll stay up first. I'm feeling all right.
All right, grab me when you are ready for us.
Sounds good.
So as you take this, you are all set up with beds in various rooms of this townhome, which ends up seemingly bigger than you would think, but it's a narrow home but with many bedrooms. And so you are all set up in various rooms in this home. Vitha can't seem to make herself rest. She will, as Fensirius, you take this first watch, you see that Vitha, not being the most stealthy person, she comes out of her room, looks around corners, sees Gift, will grab water, sit in a chair in the living room, then try and leave again, and then she'll be back in just like 10-15 minutes.
You know, if it'll help settle you down a little bit, there's still some leftover food I made her. I noticed you didn't eat.
This is, oh, she seems like you caught her doing something, and she'll say, okay, yeah, I'll make a plate. And she'll go and get some food, and she will sit in the room near Gift, and she'll eat her food, and she'll just end up staying there the rest of the time. Unless there's anything you want to do, Gift, her condition doesn't change.
Good. Okay. I'll go and wake up Grief and explain, hey, Vitha's in there watching too. But you might want to send her off to bed if you can convince her of that.
I'll see
She'll
what I
need
can
some
do.
rest.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go sit out and take watch. Is Viva awake or is she like sitting out here kind of falling asleep?
Um, I'm gonna say Vitha seems tired but stoic. She is trying to stick it out as best she can. She's not half asleep, but you can tell she wants to sleep.
Okay. I'll approach her. Hey, I'm gonna sit here until it's time for me to go rest, and then Merlin will sit here. If you can't go rest on your own, you can at least lay next to her and try to sleep a little bit. I'll make sure she stays breathing. If anything changes, I will get you immediately. You're not
Give
going to
me,
be any good to yourself or anyone else if you don't get your own rest.
she says, make a persuasion check for me.
A whopping 7.
A 7.
Well,
She says, just I'll stay out here with you. And when the next one comes, I'll go sleep.
Okay. You, it's okay too if you fall asleep here. That's fine. You can rest. You can stay close to her.
You can even tell, you just looking at her, she hasn't even changed into any sort of comfortable clothes. She's wearing the undergarments that she would wear under her armor. Like, she's just taken off the armor. She still even smells a bit from the battle before.
Yeah, grief won't push further than that. Knowing that it's best to let people handle things the way they need to.
Mhm. Yep. Vitha ends up falling asleep in the chair.
Better than
You're,
nothing.
yep. And grief, no change in her condition.
In gifts condition, you mean?
Yeah, and gift. Yeah.
Grief and gift,
Griefed.
I know. Griefed.
Yeah. So your watch ends quietly.
Yeah, I will just kind of like pat her head a little bit and come back to us. And I'll go wake up Merlin. Hey Merlin. Merlin. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
man. Sorry.
oh,
I know the feeling.
oh,
So well.
oh,
You good?
oh, so nice to see you, Grief.
Good to see you too. It's time for your watch with gift. Nothing has changed yet, and Lisa's out there kind of fell asleep in the chair. It's the best we can probably get for her. At least she's getting a little rest.
Hey, thank you. Have a great rest.
Thank you. And Grief will get to sleeping.
Merlin tiptoes to their room and very quietly sits in a nice little aged wooden chair. His beady blue-green piercing eyes scanning Vita and yeah, he's as still as a rock.
I imagine it's a little unsettling. If Vitha were awake, she would be unsettled. But yeah, the you just watch Gift. Vitha ends up sleeping until morning. And the sun breaks in the morning, and Billy is Billy wakes up first and he comes out and makes coffee for everyone and has a servant cook some food for everybody. Um and Vitha kind of stirs and stretches her arms out like she's been in a position too long. And she looks around and just looks the gift and we'll get coffee and sit next to her. The rest of everyone wakes up. What would you all like to do in this morning?
Aside from like healing potions, I can't think of anything we need to do purchase in the city, and I think we have a couple of them. I don't think we were able to use them honestly during the wild battle last night.
Yeah, I still have two healing potions written down. So
I think we just eat and go.
yeah,
Are
I
there
feel
any
like...
deliver? Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go for it.
Are there any delivery services around here?
Billy says, well, I can definitely send somebody out for something. Is there something you're wanting in particular? And then he asks that, and he's like, actually, no, hold that thought. I've been talking to folks over the night while you've been sleeping. So I have Rami has a cart for our esteemed guest of the mayor of Stork's Run. We have that ready. She is getting herself ready and will be gone shortly. I have prepared a cart to take Vitha, your sister, and your crew out of the city safely into wherever you need to go. He says, the rest of you, I would like you to hang around for just a little while longer. You have lost a formidable warrior in your ranks, and I have some plans to help you, to help me, if you wouldn't mind staying.
I mean, okay. Just what one thing real quick is Rami outside?
Rami would be out. Yes, Rami's waiting.
Okay, give me a second. And Fenceris goes into her head and says, "Hey, Rami, you there?"
Well, this is unsettling, but yeah, I'm here.
Okay. There was trouble in the town when we came through. We took care of the trouble that was in town. Please keep a very close eye out on your travels. I thought we were going with you. Just keep an eye out for anyone wearing, am I remembering this correctly? Blue tabards?
I
What
think
was the
they were
color?
black.
Black tabards, right.
Yep.
All right, I have to keep an eye out for any black tabard guard-looking individuals, and maybe veer away from the town if you see them. We took out the head of that guard, but the body may still thrash for a little while, if that makes sense.
He says, I hear you. And between your work and me sending a few helpful hands ahead, I think we'll be okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Yes, we can stay.
As you are in this room, the sun is peeking over the clouds behind. Things carry on. Vitha and the crew say their goodbyes to you. Vitha, gently carrying Gift, says, "We'll send a paper bird as soon as we know more. I hope you stay safe, and thank you for bringing her this far."
Of course. Thank you.
Please be safe in your travels.
Best of luck.
If anything else comes up, if you need anything, let us know.
Lynn says, "We most certainly will." And
Oh.
Go ahead.
Also, make sure treat the squirrel well when you see him. Promise me that.
I've never met a squirrel I didn't like.
Okay.
Lynn says. and Bree gathering Lynn into the cart says, I will treat the squirrel well. Yes, of course. The cart they leave, they disappear around a bend. And I need you all to make perception checks for me.
What's my perception? Oh boy.
19.
Okay, that's better than me. I got a 9.
9, okay.
16.
All right. The panic of last night seems to have dissipated on this street. It's morning and it's just a normal morning. People are going out. There is a cloud cover, but you see something large and something dark from behind the clouds. And then it breaks the cloud. It's blue scales, clear in the sunlight. As you see the blue dragon called the Razor. And that's where we're going to go to break. So we will see you all in 10 to 15 minutes as we continue our adventure. See you soon. Hey everyone. Welcome back. Hope you are hydrated, got to move around in a way that makes sense to you, and that you're ready for more thrilling adventure. Okay, so where are we? What just happened? So you are outside. The mayor's wife has been escorted with Rami away. You just saw Vitha and Gift right away. And you see a blue dragon pierce through the clouds. From the tip of its tail trails lightning, and lightning pours from its mouth.
Oh, fuck.
What is this magnificent being?
It's everybody stay low to the ground.
There's lightning coming out of its mouth.
Billy says,
Fantastic.
"Now there's what now?"
Dragon time.
It's back.
He
They are
looks
back.
up, and he looks up and he says, oh, that's a problem. And he runs inside and he comes back with his rapier, just his rapier. And
Cool.
And as you're all looking up, you see from the horizon another smaller red dragon, one that you've seen before. Still bears the marks of talons on it.
They're not coming from the same direction that we just sent that cart, are they?
No, they're not. It seems they've been flying higher.
Good.
But that smaller red dragon does just unleash a fiery, uh, just rains fire down on part of the city.
Okay.
The
Oh boy.
razor, the blue dragon, just starts circling around, darkening the sky. Give me a perception check.
Fantastic.
This Bubba angry.
Whoa.
This
All right.
is-
I got a 21 on that
I'll take
perception
three.
check.
I got lucky number 13.
10.
10. So you, Fenceris. So Billy's townhome overlooks the square towards the edge of the water, from which you can see the island in the river where there is the palace. You hear a massive splash from the water as a massive black dragon pulls itself up, stretches its wings, flings off all the water, begins to take flight above the palace, and unleashes acid from his mouth.
What the um third dragon. Third dragon.
What kind of acid?
That's an interesting question. What kind of acid is it?
Just very strong citrus.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not sure. It might be multiple types of acid.
It's
Ooh.
very sour.
Incredibly so.
Okay.
There's some alchemists who value it to make Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, so there is a black dragon destroying.
Ah. Yeah, boy.
Oh my goodness.
Where do we even start?
Bill,
Can I cast Firebolt at it?
Useless.
Billy, you probably even
Useless.
just instinctually lift your hand to cast the spell. Billy grabs your hand, Merlin, and says, and you can see that his face is already turned into that skeletal form.
Mm.
And he says, I need you all to stay alive. This city is my domain, and I need you to run.
Oh my goodness.
I know someone who can help you, who can take care of you. His name is Torsten. I have a facility up in the north. He reaches into his pocket, he draws a hasty map of it, and he says, you can't miss it. There's signs for mines everywhere around there, mostly telling you to not be around there. Ignore that, find him, run.
Stay safe. And Fenn's gonna Fenn will start moving in the direction that Billy Bob Bones pointed us in.
Merlin takes off his brittle sandals and puts on some very comfortable running shoes and sprints away.
Grief will very hesitantly kind of ponder back and forth for a second because it's so counterintuitive to everything that he would want to do. But he can tell that Billy is serious and that time is of the essence. So I'll take off.
Billy doesn't even wait for you to completely take off and he is already running, pulling his cloak up onto him and running into town to where there is smoke billowing. As you are running through this town, trying to find your way through, you hear the Razor yelling, just his booming voice of this dragon. He says, Zarkan will fall. All the kingdoms of man will fall. And unleashes lightning onto various parts and buildings. You hear the crack, you feel the thunder in your chest. You can smell the acid just polluting the river. There is heat at your back from fires. You run through the city as more and more people start running alongside you, trying to find safe places to hide. There, you have this instinct to help, but there are now just so many people in the streets. It would be impossible for you to help them all.
Finn's gonna send one message back to Billy as she's running, saying, "Hey, would it help if we pulled away just one dragon? I have a thought."
You ask if you can pull away one dragon.
Yeah.
Billy says, "What are you talking about?"
We made fast friends with that red dragon there, and I think I could taunt him enough to get him over here without attracting the others. Maybe?
You just hear him say, "I've already got it," and it just like cuts off.
Oh shit. Okay. Never mind. It was a thought.
You continue to, not that, like maybe you could make your way back with just the flood of people in this street, but you might find it hard for your compatriots too, just with the flood of bodies in the street as people are making their way out as well. But you make your way out of the city. You, as you get away from the river and up onto a hill overlooking the town, and you see that the red dragon is no longer flying above, but you can see bursts of fire on the street level as if it is fighting off people. The black dragon, you can, with your vantage point over the city, you can see that the black dragon now just is almost in a taunting way. And this dragon is easily twice the size of the blue dragon. It seems older, more ancient. And it seems to just almost be making a nest of what was once the palace.
If we cast a cantrip at any of these dragons, does that commit us into battling them?
If you cast a cantrip, you're a little too far to cast most cantrips.
Okay.
At this point, I would say you're probably a good few miles off from your targets, even though you can.
Okay.
Yeah,
We run really fast.
I am making, this, it's just a narrative pacing, like, is all. So if you really want to try and fire a cantrip, but even when you began to start running, you were probably a good 500 to 800 feet away from these dragons at least.
What do we do?
We do what Billy said. We keep going. We find Torsten. We go
And
from there.
Sensible.
And even in the chaos of what is happening, you see that there are guard of the Southern Reach who are trying to direct people to try and help people. It's you're not sure what the structure, where these people are going to end up, but they seem to be at least looked over, as there are soldiers and guard here among them. But you decide to make your way north, and it doesn't take you terribly long, maybe a half day's journey, following the crude map that Billy gave you. Give me a You can give me a survival check with advantage, whoever has the best survival.
Good question. I got a +4 on survival, but I don't know.
I'm a
That seems-
+3 on survival.
Yeah.
Also 3.
That's a 15 with advantage.
Of 15. Okay. Yeah, it's easy enough to make your to find you find an old highway that clearly Billy was alluding to. But it seems to be mostly disused. And putting two and two together with this being a mine telling you to keep out, maybe this is someplace abandoned that once was important. And as you make your way through, it's about a half day's journey, like I said, but you make your way and you see that the road is eventually blocked off. And it says, "Keep out, dangerous." The sign is weathered. It's been here for years, hand painted.
Perfect. Keep out. Exactly where we need to go.
Okay. Are we seriously going to go into another mine? Can I make a suggestion? Let's not get on a card again. Just throwing that out there.
Fair, fair.
Is this the only way to Torsten?
I mean, what better way to, like, if you don't really want to interact with people, it's a great place to live. Of course, I mean, Billy trusts Torsten, so I think we should, but also, hey, maybe appeal to Torsten's, I'm assuming, introverted side. Maybe not a lot of extra talk, I guess.
Is that ideal for us?
I I think I think we'll be fine.
All right, fair enough. All right. Panzeris is going to unsheath her rapier, which starts glowing immediately, and holds it up in a non-attacking way so that they can start seeing their way into the mine.
You don't see an entrance to the mine. The road just continues on through a wooded area. You just are now at the first barricade.
Gotcha.
That says where the road is blocked off, and it says, "Danger, keep out."
My bad. In that case, yeah, no, Fenceris is still using it to just like see if she can catch like a glint of something that is hidden for an entrance.
All right, give me an investigation check.
14 plus numbers. 23.
Okay. You don't see any like secret entrances or anything like that. It seems to just be heavily wooded, forgotten. Some of the brush has grown up over the road, but you see some of it has been cleared away recently, but not very much. It's still pretty overgrown. It's not well manicured as it once was. And as you continue to approach, you hear hammering in the distance, like just a metal on metal hammering.
Wonder what that's all about. Could they be creating something? Or destroying something?
Either a blacksmith or possibly an artist. I have definitely seen some metal artists. But, so it could be either.
Well, if it's either of those, it's safe, right? Yeah. We should just go.
Right.
So you continue down, and you see the hammering stops at part way as you're walking, and you get to a clearing, and you see two figures talking to each other. One is this middle-aged man, light skin, balding, but he has like what remains of his hair pulled back into a ponytail, and he's wearing like a leather apron, clearly dirty, covered in soot. And he's talking to this short, kind of round, stout creature, or I guess what you perceive as a woman. And but red skin, the hair kind of like gives off a heat. And they are talking to each other. It seems kind of like they're having some sort of disagreement. And yeah. What would you like to do?
Are we social? Are we extroverted? Or...
Yeah, I get, so does, they're having an argument or a discussion, screaming, I guess I should say. Does it seem to be in hushed tones, or is it full throated?
Give me a insight check to kind of get a gauge of that where you are.
12 plus numbers. Yeah, 13.
13? With the 13, you think they are friendly towards each other, but are disagreeing about some particular matter. It doesn't seem to be like they're not like yelling or anything. They're just like going back and forth, almost like bickering.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, seems safe enough. I think we lead with our best face forward. Grief?
Yeah, I mean, I hesitate to get involved in other people's things, but yeah, let's just go over. I think we're okay.
They might need some breathing room. It sometimes helps for having an interruption.
That's true.
So you all head up. Oh, go ahead.
Merlin brings up his quarterstaff to use as a warning that we're dangerous people. Don't mess with us.
Okay. Do you want to give me an intimidation check?
Yes. 5.
Excellent. Perfect.
Woo!
That's just what I expected. Okay, cool. So you look threatening. You're mostly waving the stick around in like a figure eight pattern. Like
Well,
and
it came in raving the other night.
begins twirling the quarter staff. Yeah. Okay. So you all begin to step up. Torsten, what is your character doing?
Torsten is most likely uh, analyzing a towards the back of wherever they are, uh, analyzing like a chest piece, kind of looking it over, make some notes on a table, uh, looks it over, tilts his head, and is just kind of letting the other two people kind of uh, figure out uh, whatever route they're going to take with the project that they're working on, as he's basically trying to formulate, okay, how do we improve this? What we have so far.
Okay. So yeah, you all walk up and the woman with the red skin just kind of looks towards you all. I assume you're not being stealthy, right?
No, not particularly.
Just walking up.
Okay. So you she says, "Can I help you folks?"
Yeah, we were sent by Billy. We're supposed to meet up with a Tor Torsten. Is it Grief? Is it Torsten? Is that right? Torsten, I think.
Yes, yes.
We might be in the wrong place. Billy was kind of in a rush when he sent us this way.
The human man says, "Billy? Like, how do you know Torsten?"
Well, we don't know Torsten. We're just supposed to find them. Billy sent us. We know Billy. Billy Bob Bones, big hat.
Oh, Sir Bones. Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
You'll have to apologize. I met the man once. I didn't understand his whole deal, but he's paying the bills. If he sent you, I guess that's fine. Um, Samara says it is certainly not fine. They are not qualified to be here.
Am I
The
am I
you
close
over
enough
here?
to hear all this?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you describe your character to everyone?
Yes, you see a masculine half elf figure in very like practical work clothes. He has this like dark curly hair and like green eyes. Yeah, greenish eyes. Is kind of looking towards you all. So, how do you know Sir Bones?
We had we became mutuals during a rather unfortunate dragon attack. And we helped I was about to say Stratford upon Avon. That's not what that is.
Brambles upon the river.
Brambles upon the river. Yeah, we helped prevent an attack against brambles on the river with Billy. And it seems that same dragon has been attacking the Billy's city and along with some friends. And Billy sent us running this way to find you.
Oh, the dragons in Zarkan?
Yeah. Yes, 3 of them, at least.
That is troubling. Percival finally says, however, he was working on. Did they tell you he give you any further direction than just find us?
He
He
said
said he said you folks are safe and that we should be with you.
Well, we are pretty out of the way for a reason. Uh, do you need to rest or anything? It's quite a long walk.
I mean, probably need to sit down and have a quick meal for sure. It was bit of a
Yeah,
hike to get
definitely.
here.
Okay, yes, we have plenty of food. And Torsten will direct you further into the mine. It's like there are cots here. We keep our food there. Feel free to help yourself.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Super grateful.
Um,
Then
the Redskin woman will say, "Well, I guess we should introduce ourselves. My name's Samar. I am Torsten's assistant. I guess I make sure things are running smoothly."
Huh.
And the
Uh,
human man will say, "My name's Maddie. I run the Smiths. Metallurgist is kind of helping out."
Metallurgy.
yes,
That's what that sound was. I'm
yes.
Fen. Hi.
Of course, nice to meet you all. Then he'll look to the other two.
I'm Grief.
And I'm Merlin.
Torsten Pinewalker, it seems like this is a good time to make some new friends if there are dragons about. Uh,
It does feel
it
or does
yes,
not.
yes. With in times like these, yes, Sir Bones was right. You'll need all the help you can get. Sir Bones actually set all of this up. Uh,
Hmm.
Actually, it's been a few weeks since I've been able to talk to anyone about this. Nope. Go rest. Go get some food, and you. We can. I'll what's the word? I'll give you the whole elevator pitch later.
Fair enough. Appreciate it. Yeah, we should rest up a bit. How are my companions looking at this point, health-wise? I know you both got beat up.
We had a
we had a
long
long rest, so
rest though,
officially
so
you're both recovered.
I'm
but
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
How long did we walk?
Um, Probably a good 12 hours. So it's probably like getting close to evening now. Like,
So we wouldn't have like, HP damage or anything, but we're definitely sleepy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not that y'all haven't walked a long ways before, so there's a lot of walking in D&D.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, I was thinking more of we didn't have a whole lot of time last night to worry about you two, but I know you took quite a beating during the fight 2 nights ago. No, sorry, that was just last night. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Long evening.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Well then, friend Mr. Bones is in front of ours, so I did forget to eat today. Then he will call over to Maddie and Samar. I think we're good to call this a night.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
Maddie says, "Yeah, I think so too." I guess I'm gonna put some bread on the forge and just get some food going
Yes, yes, thank you.
while it's cooling down. So, um,
Is there
some
any broccoli by chance?
Samar says we don't have broccoli. Most of what we have is dried. Um,
Okay.
how do you feel about onions?
Eat them all the time, all day, all night.
Yeah. Been, we have an onion soup that's been going, but there's plenty to go around. She will. So kind of the layout of this place is that there's like three smaller, like kind of shelters where things are being assembled and the the smithy and everything is, and then there's just kind of one kind of narrow, um it would be more akin to a barracks, a small barracks, where you all have your beds in there in one place, and there is a hearth in there to cook. There are more beds than just the three of you. It seems like the impression you get is that this operation was supposed to scale up at some point, but for right now, there's just three people here and plenty of food stores, mostly dried goods, jars of various things. But, they're making the best of it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, there is a pot of onion soup that has been just kind of slowly simmering on the hearth, and that is served up to you with some bread.
So, you were in some sort of fight last night. What's the situation there?
There were some. Weirdly enough, there are some humans that seem to be allying themselves with the dragons, or I guess worshipping would be really the word there. And we got in a scuffle with one of the crew. I don't know if you ever heard of the Acid Guard before, but they're they're not great. We managed to come out, but not unscathed of a battle with a particularly annoying member of their factor.
That's cult for dragons. That's troubling news. This goes deeper than just a single attack on Zarkan. That's have they been active long, or have you only just recently run into this cult and this acid guard people?
Well, the Acid Guard has been active at least for long enough to subjugate an entire town to the point where no one felt the ability to stand up to them. So I don't know exactly how long that is, but uh they seem to have gained a bit of power.
Shit. Okay. Uh, and as far as you know, it's just you three and Sir Bones who have been acting against this.
Brambles upon the river has been trying to deal with the blue dragon that happened to attack Zarkan, but it's clearly not going great for them. In fact, we haven't been back to Brambles upon the river for a while now, so
Yeah.
not even sure how they're doing it back there.
That bodes poorly.
Yeah.
So, you three are the relative experts of this topic. What's your game plan?
Expert and game planner are big words there. We just kind of got thrown into this.
Hmm.
We need some time to solidify our plan.
We're down a
We
party member.
Oh, my condolences.
Thanks. We think she'll be okay, but she's not okay right now. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't feel like we have any idea where to go from here quite yet. Billy made it sound like you'd have some idea of what to do.
Idea is a bit of an exaggeration, but
Billy, an exaggerator. Never.
oh, of course not. Strange man, lesser bones, but
Truly.
helpful. And well, if he Zarkan is his domain, so it's it would be the right thing to aid him in at least driving off the uh, three dragons. You said.
I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, with a dragon problem that big, either they have driven them off, or Zarkan is no more.
Yeah, we had what? Red, blue. I forget the
Black.
third. Black.
It's
Uh,
And small, medium, large. Not strict D&D sizes, but you know.
yeah. Excuse me, I ordered the large dragon. I think this is a medium.
I want ultimate destruction, not medium.
yeah. Torsten will just kind of sit with that in a moment. Well, he didn't direct you someone completely defenseless. In fact, defense is sort of the goal. And then he will sit down his food, go over to another room, and back out this suit of splint armor. Now, when I when I was younger, I helped work at a mine, not this one, but fairly similar. And mine kind of flexes one of his hands. Accidents happen. And so he kind of sets it down. I've been working on this. Something to protect people in case of things like cave-ins or anything living in the caves wanders in, and partially line the workload. And then let me see if this is a thing I can do. Slash loads. Okay. And let's see. And he will just pick it back up and almost like press it towards his chest as the armor wraps around him and kind of makes a few motions. So I've been trying to attempt not quite this model, but make it more widely available. I ran to Sir Bones. He supported the idea and got all of this set up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And he will take the armor back off and set aside. So you aren't totally without assets, and I'm sure that in your travels you've uh, gathered some more information. Now, the issue is where to go next.
Uh, well, we have some leads, and Fenn's gonna pull out the map they got way back in the day with the list of dragon worshipping encampments. I think I recall.
Yeah, I believe you got a map with some of them, with some locations. You don't know how up to date it is or anything like that, but yeah, you do
Right.
have some information on well, you know where goods were being goods
Yes,
were
that's what it
going somewhere
was.
and then being located somewhere else. You don't quite know where that final location is. Um
Yeah. So we followed some goods to here. Uh that's we ended up in a mine chasing you ever seen a werebear before? That was a new one for me.
When the bear is
Uh,
present, I tend to know where it is.
uh, it,
That was a joke.
yeah, we at any rate, we failed to keep up with werebear and ended up somewhere in the Underdark accidentally. Uh, and I'll spare you the details of what we did, what we had to do down there, but we popped back out, and that's when we ran into the acid guard and ended up here. So that trail went a little cold, unfortunately. But ultimately, we were looking to follow the goods and figure out where and why they were transporting these things. That is the dragon cult.
Would Torsten know anything about uh, either the actual trail itself or any news from the town where they found it last?
give me yeah, give me a history check
Alrighty.
because you actually might know a little
Oh,
bit.
fun. Let's see. That is, ooh, nice. A 19 plus 4 is 23.
Um you would probably know this just because of your occupation and things like that. You know that there has been uh has been a cult of dragons. It's, you know, it's been kind of small, but they've been like pulling up laborers who are like between jobs in order to run various things. They have, especially in a lot of the towns close to the Vasna border, um that they seem to have a lot of money and are paying a lot to folks to join them and work for them, you know. So you know that there are entities out there who are pulling in people. You've heard talk about dragons, but it seems like most of the people who they're pulling up don't, they're not believers, they're just workers.
Yeah, Torsten just kind of thinks, and his face looks a little bit more and more troubled. Hmm. So, do we go back and continue to follow the trail, or you said that the blue dragon was facing Brambles Pond the river. Have you heard any news from there about whether the attack, whether the dragon was successful. Uh, when's the last week you've heard from Brambles?
The last we heard from it was when we were there about a month ago. We haven't been corresponding with them while we've been out on the road.
I see. Makes sense. So,
As you're talking, you hear like a tap at one of the windows. Like just this repeated tap as something runs into it and then backs off and tries to run into it again. And you see there's a folded up piece of paper into a bird just tapping at the window.
Oh,
Paperbird?
that's for us. Hold on. Let me. Fenn will open up the window, I guess.
It flies past you and goes to Torsten.
oh,
Never mind. Not for us. Click.
yeah, Torsten will like almost catch it out of the air, then we'll unfold it.
And it starts off, it says, "Good Mr. Pinewalker, I hope this letter finds you well and that you are succeeding in all of your endeavors." And then it will trail off and we will resolve that in our next session as we are at 9:30 and we are at time. So
Woo!
I am so happy to be playing again. I love this so much. I guess we'll do our little outros. So we'll go around, tell us what you do and where to find you. Start with Jaden.
Hey, I am Siliqui Jaden. You can find me on most platforms under the username Fat Sapphic Bro. It's my Twitch handle, and it's also where I am on TikTok, where it's where I mostly hang out and make a variety of different kinds of content. So feel free to come find me and hang out with me. Thanks.
Awesome. Levi.
Hello, I am Levi, LeviFips97 on Twitter, like the jeans on Blue Sky. Most of my stuff has been pretty quiet for a while. I do have an itch.io page, levi-fips.itch.io, where I have a few Monster Hearts playbooks, a few playbooks for Interstitial, and a couple other smaller projects. Hopefully, I'll get something else done by the end of the year, but uh, if that if anything else up happens, Twitter and Blue Sky are places you can find me.
Awesome. Silver.
Hey there, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette here on Twitch as well as over on YouTube, where you can find on YouTube all the old versions of Capes and Caverns, which is a superhero-inspired Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I happened to spend way too much time writing all of that up. So it's our playtest / also a fun time had by all. You can also find me on TikTok as All the Web's a Stage, which is also a short play podcast that still exists out in the world, but I have not returned to it in like a year. So we've been on a bit of a hiatus. That's me.
Awesome. Tara.
Hello, yes. You can find me on Tilda Town at the username in the chat. I won't say it again because, repetition. I'm also modding for a stream called Cooking DJ, which is like a rave in the kitchen and like cutting onions to the beat. And you can lastly and maybe impossibly find me in my home thinking about Merlin Hendricks a lot, like an unbelievable amount. In fact, I started writing a book about him.
Excellent. You can send me your progress on that at any time.
Oh, sick.
Really.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. And I'm Archangelic. You can find me here Sunday nights at 7:30, but not next week because we take the last week of the month off. So we'll pick up at the beginning of November. But I will be running Era of the Dragons for these wonderful people here. Again, I want to shout out Levi. Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy to have you on here.
Oh,
Thanks for
Levi.
having me.
Oh yeah, so you can also find many links for me on my website, archangelic.space. That's my static page. That's where I just put everything. If you've missed any of our games, you can check them out on YouTube. The link is in the chat in the channel description. Actually, the link tree will be in our chat, which will have that. We also have a podcast. You can search for Era of the Dragons wherever you get podcasts. If you want to support any other this game or any possible future projects, you can support me on Patreon. Completely optional. Our games will always be free for everyone. The link is in the link tree as well. Lastly, I want to thank User for helping us stream this show. We all appreciate you. We could not do this without you. I want to thank all of you viewers for tuning in. We love you, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, y'all.